In George Orwell's 1984, the world is dominated by three superstates. Eastasia covers Japan, Korea, China, and northern India. Eurasia covers continental Europe, Ukraine, and Russia. But get this, Oceania contains USA, Mexico, Central America, South America, Canada, and Greenland, as well as the UK, which is referred to as Airstrip 1. Doesn't that sound somewhat familiar? Oceania is governed by an all-controlling party, which has brainwashed the population into obedience to Big Brother, the charismatic leader of the party. The party controls what the citizens of Oceania know about the world. The party uses newspeak, a drastically simplified language, to reduce the vocabulary available for communication and to make it easier to condition the people with the mantras of the party and suppress any dissent. People literally cannot formulate anti-government, anti-Big Brother thoughts. Donald Trump sees the world in terms of three power blocks. The American power bloc, controlled by him, the Russian power bloc, controlled by Vladimir Putin, and the Chinese power bloc, controlled by Xi Jinping. Trump wants the world to be enormously simplified. He detests the European Union, which he claims was established purely to screw America. He has clearly signaled that he would happily transfer Europe and Ukraine to Russian control in exchange for the USA taking control of the entire Americas and Greenland, and also keeping the UK for sentimental reasons and as a pet. Trump's ideal model for conducting world affairs is the Yalta Conference held in Yalta, Crimea, in February 1942. That meeting took place between Franklin D. Roosevelt of the USA, Winston Churchill of the British Empire, and Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. The three men carved up the world between them. Roosevelt handed over Poland to Stalin without a second thought. That's what Trump imagines he can do with Europe. He detests Europe and wants a world where he controls all of the Americas and is protected by two vast oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific. Trump cannot bear talking to democratic politicians whom he despises. He admires only dictators, strong men. He wants to end democracy and just have three Caesars running the world. Trump strongly endorses Oswald Spengler's concept of Caesarism. Caesarism is the form of government where power is exclusively exercised by Caesars. The people have no say in it. Democracy is abolished. An autocratic imperium controls everything. Naif al-Bid wrote, "In The Hour of Decision and the Decline of the West, Spengler argued that, around the turn of the third millennium, i.e. this millennium, the Western Faustian culture would experience the formation of Caesarism. This impending appearance of force politics occurs alongside the collapse of democracy, which Spengler merely views as a tool utilized by the forces of money and cosmopolitanism." Spengler provides us with a critique of Western forms of journalism and the political press, foreseeing the rise of contemporary hyper-commercialism. Spengler envisioned a battle between what he termed the forces of dictatorial money economics and the political will to order of the emerging Caesarism, where the latter conquers the realm of the former. Spengler claimed that the soil of the motherland creates man and his respective culture. Ironically, man attempts to exploit nature and enslave it, only to be enslaved by a microcosm of his own creation: money, the cosmopolitan cities, and technics. In The Decline of the West, Spengler said, "The press today is an army with carefully organized weapons, the journalists its officers, the readers its soldiers. The reader neither knows nor is supposed to know the purposes for which he is used and the role he is to play." Spengler hated democracy and the press, which he regarded as entirely controlled by money with considerable justification. The Caesars instead relied on blood and soil. Blood and soil would defeat money. Naif al-Bid said, "The coming Caesars will possess the earth as their private property, as did the Caesars of all past cultures, the reason being the almost non-existence of the cultural form of the West. Their limitless power is necessary and justified. Trump seeks to end the current world order based on democracy and have a new world order based on Caesarism. No one will be allowed to oppose the Caesars. They will exercise absolute control over their respective power blocks. The rich will be made to kneel to the Caesars. Wake up. This is the world Trump is building. It's not a world where you will prosper. Victor Hugo said, "The paradise of the rich is built from the hell of the poor." Isn't it time for a modern Spartacus to stand up for the people against the Caesars? Only the left, the hard left, not absurd woke liberals who have no connection at all to what the left is actually about, can save the people. Stand with Ukraine. It's the front line in the war against Caesarism. Anyone who doesn't stand with Ukraine is a class traitor and enemy of the people. This is class war. Stand with your class against the elites. The USA is now an ally and partner of the dictator Putin, and an enemy of Ukraine and Europe. You had better wake up fast. The hour of decision is finally here.